Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to Jeremiah 21 to 25, Proverbs 19, and Psalm 80. Let's get started. A message from the Lord came to Jeremiah. It came when King Zedekiah sent Pashur to Jeremiah. Pashur was the son of Malchijah. Zedekiah sent Zephaniah the priest along with him. Zephaniah was the son of Maaseiah. They said to Jeremiah, "Ask the Lord to help us. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, is attacking us. In the past, the Lord did wonderful things for us. Maybe he'll do them again. Then Nebuchadnezzar will pull his armies back from us." And Jeremiah answered, "Tell Zedekiah and his people, the Lord is the God of Israel. He says, the king of Babylon and his armies are all around the city. They are getting ready to attack you. You have weapons of war in your hands to fight against them. But I am about to turn your weapons against you, and I will bring your enemies inside the city. I myself will fight against you. I will reach out my powerful hand and mighty arm. I will come against you with all my great anger. I will strike you down those who live in the city. I will kill people and animals alike. They will die of a terrible plague. After that, I will hand you over to your enemies. They want to kill you, announces the Lord. I will hand over Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and his officials. I will also hand over the people in this city who live through the plague, war, and hunger. All of them will be handed over to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. He will kill them with swords, and he will show them no mercy. He will not feel sorry for them. In fact, he will not have any concern for them at all. Tell the people, the Lord said, I am offering you a choice. You can choose the way that leads to life, or you can choose the way that leads to death. And those who stay in the city will die of war, hunger, or plague. But suppose some go out and give themselves up to the Babylonians' attack. They will live. They will escape with their lives. I have decided to do the city harm and not good, announces the Lord. It will be handed over to the king of Babylon, and he will destroy it with fire. Also speak to Judah's royal family. Tell them, listen to the Lord's message. Here's what David says to you who belong to David's royal house. Every morning, do what is right and fair. Seek those who have been robbed. Set them free from the people who have treated them badly. If you do not, my anger will blaze out against you. It will burn like fire because of the evil things you have done. No one will be able to put it out. Jerusalem, I am against you. Announces Lord, you will live above this valley. You are on a high rocky plain, and you say, you can come against us. You can enter our place of safety, but I will punish you in keeping with what you have done. Announces the Lord, I will start a fire in your forest. It will burn down everything around you. The Lord said to Jeremiah, go down to the palace of the king of Judah, and announce my message there. Tell King of Judah, listen to the Lord's message. You are sitting on David's throne. You and your officials and your people come through these gates. The Lord says, do what is fair and right. Save those who have been robbed. Set them free from the people who have treated them badly. Do not do anything wrong to outsiders or widows in this place. Do not harm children whose fathers have died. Do not kill those who are not guilty of doing anything wrong. But be careful to obey these commands. The young kings will sit on David's throne and will come through the gates of this palace. Place. Do not harm children whose fathers have died. Do not kill those who are not guilty of doing anything wrong. Be careful to obey these commands. Then kings who sit on David's throne will come through the gates of this palace. And they will come riding in chariots and on horses. Their officials and their people will come along with them. But suppose you do not obey these commands, announces the Lord. Then I promise you that this palace will be destroyed. You can be as sure of this promise as you are sure that I live. The Lord speaks about the palace of the king of Judah. And he said, you are like the land of Gilead to me. You are like the highest mountain in the land, but I will make you like a desert. They will become like towns that no one lives in. I will send destroyers against you. All of them will come with their weapons. I will cut up your fine cedar beams. They will throw them into the fire. And people from many nations will pass the city. And they will ask one, why has the Lord done such a thing to this great city? And the answer will be, this happened because of what its people have done. They have turned away from the covenant the Lord their God made with them. They have worshipped other gods, and they have served them. Don't weep over dead King Josiah. Don't be sad because he's gone. Instead, weep bitterly over King Jehoahaz. He was forced to leave his country. He will never return. He will never see his own land again. Jehoahaz became king of Judah after his father Josiah, but he has gone away from this place. And that's because the Lord says about him, he will never return. He will die in Egypt. That is where he was taken as a prisoner. He will not see this land again. The Lord says, how terrible it will be for King Jehoiakim. He builds his palace by mistreating his people. He builds his upstairs rooms with money gained by sinning. He makes his own people work for nothing. He does not pay them for what they do. He says, I will build myself a great palace. It will have large rooms upstairs, so he will make big windows in it. He covers its walls with cedar boards. He decorates it with red paint. Jehoiakim does having more and more cedar boards make you a king. Your father Josiah had enough to eat and drink. He did what was right and fair, so everything went well with him. He stood up for those who were poor or needy, so everything went well with him. That is what it means to know me, and as this little Jehoiakim, the only thing on your mind is to get rich by cheating others. You would even kill people who are not guilty of doing anything wrong. You would mistreat them. You would take anything they own. And so the Lord speaks about King Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah. He says, his people will not mourn for him. They will not say, my poor brother, my poor sister. They will not mourn for him. They will not say, my poor master, how sad that his glory is gone. In fact, he will be buried like a donkey. His body will be dragged away and thrown outside the gates of Jerusalem. And the Lord says, people of Jerusalem, go up to Lebanon, cry out for help. Then let your voice be heard in the land of Bashan. Cry out from the mountains of Abarim. And all those who are going to help you are crushed. Then you felt to kill, and I warned you, but you said, I won't listen. You've acted like that ever since you were young. You have not obeyed me. The wind will drive away all your shepherds. All those who are going to help you will be carried off as prisoners, and you will be dishonored and put to shame. That will happen because you have been so sinful. Some of you live in Jerusalem in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. You are comfortable in your steady buildings, but you will groan when pain comes on you. You will be like the pain of a woman having a baby. King Jehoiakim, you are the son of Jehoiakim, and now says the Lord. Suppose you are a ring on my right hand, and suppose the ring even had my royal mark on it, then I would still pull you off my finger. And that is just as sure as I am alive. And I will hand you over to those who want to kill you. I will hand you over to people you are afraid of. I will give you to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. I will hand you over to his armies. I will throw you out into another country. I will throw your motherland. Neither of you were born in that country. The wind will drive away all your shepherds. All those who are going to help you will be carried off as prisoners. Then you will be dishonored and put to shame. That will happen because you have been so sinful. Some of you live in Jerusalem and in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. You are comfortable in your cedar buildings. But you'll groan when pain comes on you. And you will be like the pain of a woman having a baby. King Jehoiakim, you are the son of Jehoiakim, and answers the Lord. Suppose you were a ring on my right hand, and suppose the ring even had my royal mark on it. Then I would still pull you off my finger, and that is just as sure as I am alive. I will hand you over to those who want to kill you. I will hand you over to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. I'll hand you over to his armies. I'll throw you out into another country. I'll throw your mother out. Neither of you was born in that country. But both of you will die then. You will never come back to the land you long to return to. This man Jehoiachin is like a broken pot. Everyone hates him. No one wants him. Why will he and his children be thrown out of this land? Why will they be sent to a land they don't know about? Land, listen to the Lord's message. The Lord says, let the records say that this man did not have any children. I report that he did not have any success in life. None of his children will have success either. None of them will sit on David's throne. None of them will ever rule over Judah. How terrible it will be for the shepherds who lead my people astray. And as his Lord, they are destroying and scattering sheep that belong to my flock, says the Lord, the God of Israel, speaks to the shepherds who take care of my people. He tells them, you have scattered my sheep. You have driven them away. You have not taken care of them. Good care of them. So I will punish you for the evil things you have done, and I myself will gather together those who are left alive in my flock. I will gather them out of all the countries where I have driven them, and I will bring them back to their own land. There my sheep will have many lambs. There will be many more of them. I will place shepherds over them who will take good care of them. My sheep will not be afraid or terrified anymore, and none of them will be missing. And that is the Lord. A new day is coming, announces the Lord. At that time I will raise up for David to rule a godly branch. He will be a king who will rule wisely. He will do what is fair and right in the land. In this day Judah will be saved. Israel will live in safety, and the branch will be called the Lord who makes this right with himself. Other days are also come, announces the Lord. At that time people will no longer say, the Lord brought the Israelites up out of Egypt. And that is just as sure as he is alive. Instead they'll say, the Lord brought the Israelites up out of the land of the north. He would gather them out of all the countries where he had forced them to go. And that's just as sure as he is alive. And then they'll live in their own land. Here's a message about the prophets. My heart is breaking inside me. All my bones tremble with fear. I am like a man who is drunk. I am like a strong man who has had too much wine. And that's what the Lord's holy words have done to me. The land is full of people who are unfaithful to the Lord. Now the land is under his curse. And that's why it is thirsty for water. And that's why the desert grasslands are dry. The prophets are leading sinful lives. They do use their power in the right way. The prophets and priests are ungodly, announces the Lord. Even in my temple I find them sinning. So their path will become slippery. They will be thrown out into darkness. There they will fall. I will bring trouble on them when the time to punish them comes. Among the prophets of Samaria I saw something I can't stand. They were prophesying in the name of Baal. They were leading my people Israel astray. I have also seen something horrible among Jerusalem's prophets. They are not faithful to me. They are not living by the truth. They strengthen the hands of those who do evil. Not one of them turns from their sinful ways. All of them are like the people who are Sodom to me. They are just like the people of Gomorrah. So the Lord who rules over all speaks about the prophets. He said, I will make them eat bitter food, and I will make them drink poison water. The prophets of Jerusalem have spread their ungodly ways all through the land. The Lord who rules over all says to the people of Judah, do not listen to what the prophets are saying to you. They fill you with falsehood. They talk about visions that come from their own minds. What they say does not come from my mouth. They keep speaking to those who hate me. They say, the Lord says you will have peace. They speak to all those who do what their stubborn hearts want them to do. They tell them, no harm will come to you, but which of them has ever stood in my court? Has they been there to see a vision or hear my image? Who has listened and heard my message there? A storm will burst out because of my great anger. A windstorm will sweep down on the heads of sinful people. My anger will not turn back. I will accomplish everything I plan to do. In days to come, you will understand You will understand it clearly. I did not send the prophets. And answers the Lord. My message is like fire. And answers the Lord. It is like a hammer that breaks a rock in pieces. So I am against these prophets. And answers the Lord. I am against those who steal messages from one another. They claim that the messages come from me. Yes, and answers the Lord. I am against the prophets who speak their own words. But they still say, here's what the Lord says. I am against prophets who talk about dreams that do not come from me. And answers the Lord. They tell foolish lies. Their lies lead my people astray. But I did not send these prophets. I did not appoint them. They do not help my people in the least. And then answers the Lord. Jeremiah, these people might ask you a question. Or a prophet or priest might do this. They might ask, what message have you received from the Lord? Tell them. You ask, what message? Here it is. I will desert you. And answers the Lord. And prophet or priest might make a claim. Or someone else might do this. He might claim, this is a message from the Lord. And then I will punish them and their family. Here's what each of you people keeps on saying to your friends and other Israelites. You ask, what is the Lord's answer? Or you ask, why has the Lord spoken? But you must not talk about a message from the Lord again. That's because each person's own words become their message. And so you twist the Lord's word. He is the living God. He is the Lord who rules over them. He is our God. And here's what you keep saying to a prophet. You ask, what does the Lord answer to you? Or you ask, what has the Lord spoken? You claim, this is a message from the Lord. And here's what the Lord says. You use the words, this is a message from the Lord. And I told you that you must not claim. This is a message from the Lord. So you can be sure I will forget you. I'll throw you out of my sight. I will also destroy the city I gave you and your people of any people of London. I'll bring on you shame that will last forever. It will never be forgotten. King Jehoiachin was forced to leave Jerusalem. He was the son of Jehoiakim. Jehoiachin was taken to Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. The officials and all the skilled workers were forced to leave with him. After they left, the Lord showed me 2 baskets of figs. They were in front of his temple. One basket had very good figs in it. They were like figs that ripen early. The other basket had very bad figs in it. In fact, they were so bad they couldn't even be eaten. Then the Lord asked me, what do you see, Jeremiah? Figs, I answered. The good ones are very good, but the others are so bad they can't be eaten. Then the message from the Lord came to me. The Lord said, I am the God of Israel. I say, I consider the people who were forced to leave Judah to be like these good figs. I sent them away from this place. I forced them to go to Babylon. My eyes will watch over them. I will be good to them, and I will bring them back to this land. I will build them up, and I will not tear them down. I will plant them. I will not pull them out by the roots. I will change their hearts, and they will know that I am the Lord. They will be my people, and I will be their God. They will return to me with all their heart. But they are also bad figs. In fact, they are so bad they can't be eaten, says the Lord. Zedekiah, the king of Judah, I like these bad figs. So are his officials and the people of Jerusalem who are still left alive. So I will punish them wherever they remain in this land or live in Egypt. I will make all the kingdoms on earth displeased with them. In fact, they will hate them a great deal. They will shake their heads at them. They will curse them and make fun of them. All this will happen no matter where I force them to go. I'll send war, hunger, and plague against them. They will be destroyed from the land I gave them and their people long ago. A message from the Lord about all the people of Judah came to Jeremiah. It came in the 4th year that Jehoiakim was the king. was king of Judah. It was the first year that Nebuchadnezzar was king of Babylon. Jehoiakim was the son of Josiah. Jeremiah, the Lord's prophet, spoke to all the people of Judah and Jerusalem. He said, For 23 years the Lord's messages have been coming to me. They began to come in the 13th year that Josiah was king of Judah. He was the son of Ammon. The Lord's messages still come to me today. I've spoken to people again and again, but you haven't listened to me. The Lord has sent all his servants, the prophets, to you. They've come to you again and again. That you haven't listened. You haven't paid any attention to them. They said, each of you must turn from your evil ways and practices. Then you can stay in the land forever. It's the land the Lord gave you and your people long ago. Don't follow other gods. Don't serve them or worship them. Don't make the Lord angry with the gods your own hands have made. Then he won't harm you. No, you did not listen to me, and answers no. You have made me very angry with the gods your hands have made, and you have brought harm on yourself. The Lord who is over all says, You have not listened to my words, so I will send for all the nations in the north, and I'll send for my servant Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and answers the Lord, and I'll bring all of them against this land and against you who live here. And they'll march out against all the nations that are around this land. I'll set apart Judah and the nations around it in a special way to be destroyed. People will be shocked because of them, and they will make fun of them. Those nations will be destroyed forever. I will put an end to the sounds of joy and gladness. I will put an end to the voices of brides and grooms. The sound of grinding millstones will not be heard anymore, and lamps will not be lit anymore. This whole country will become dry and empty, and then these nations will serve the king of Babylon for 70 years. And I will punish that king and his nation because they are guilty. I will do this when the 70 years are over, announces the Lord. I will make that land a desert forever. I will stricken against that land, and I will make all these things happen to it. Everything will happen that is written in this book, and I will make everything Jeremiah prophesied against all the nations come true. The people of Babylon will become slaves of many other nations and great kings. I will pay them back for what they've done. The Lord is the God of Israel. He said to me, Take this cup from my hand. It is filled with the wine of my great anger. Make all the nations to which I send you drink it. When they drink it, they will not even be able to walk straight. It will drive them out of their minds. I am going to send war against them. So I took the cup from the Lord's hand. I made all the nations to which he sent me drink from it. He sent me to Judah's kings and officials. He told me to go to Jerusalem and the towns of Judah. He wanted me to tell them they would be destroyed. Then people would be shocked because of them. They would make fun of them. They would use their name in a curse. That's how things still are today. Here's a list of the other kings and nations he sent me to. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, his attendants, his officials, all his people, and all the people from other lands who lived there, all the kings of Uz, the Philistine kings of Ashkelon, Gaza, and Ekron, the Philistines still living in Ashdod, Edom, Moab, Ammon, all the kings of Tyre and Sidon, all the kings of the islands and other lands along the Mediterranean Sea, Eden, Teman, Buz, all the other places far away in the east, all the kings of Arabia, all the other kings of people who live in the desert, all the kings of Zimri, Elam, and Media, all the kings in the north, near and far. So he sent me to all the kingdoms on the face of the earth, one after the other. They will all drink from the cup of the Lord's anger. When they drink, the king of Babylon will drink from it too. The Lord says, Tell them, the Lord who is over all is the God of Israel. He says, Drink from this cup. Get up, get drunk, and throw up. Fall down and do not get up again. I am going to send more against you, but they might refuse to take the cup from your hand. They might not want to drink it. Then tell them, the Lord who rules over all says, You must drink from it. I am beginning to bring trouble on the city where I have put my name, but you will certainly be punished. I am sending war against everyone who lives on earth. announces the Lord who rules over. Jeremiah, prophecy against them. Tell them, the Lord will rule from heaven like a lion. His voice will sound like thunder from his holy temple. He will roar loudly against Israel. He will shout like those who stomp on grapes in wine presses. He will shout against everyone who lives on earth. The noise of battle will be heard from one end of the earth to the other. That's because the Lord will bring charges against the nations. He will judge every human being. He will kill sinful people with the sword. And as this the Lord who rules over all says, look, horrible trouble is spreading from one nation to another. A mighty storm is rising. It is coming from a place that is very far away. At that time those the Lord kills will be lying around everywhere. They will be found from one end of the earth to the other. No one will mend for them. Their dead bodies will not be gathered up or buried. Instead, they will be like human waste lying there on the ground. Weep and cry, shepherd. Roll in the dust, you leaders of the flock. Your time to be killed has come. Yet you will fall like the best of the ram. The shepherds won't have any place to run to. The leaders of the flock won't be able to escape. Listen to the cries of the shepherds. Hear the weeping of the leaders of their flock. The Lord is destroying their grasslands. Their peaceful meadows will be completely destroyed because of the Lord's great anger. Like a lion, he will leave his den, and the land of those leaders will become a desert. That's because the sword of the Lord brings great harm. His anger will burn against them. Proverbs 19. It is better to be poor and to live without blame than to be forced into twist words. Getting excited about something without knowledge isn't good. It's even worse to be in a hurry and miss the way. A peasant's own foolish acts destroy their life, yet their heart is angry with the Lord. Wealth brings many friends, but even the closest friend of a poor person abandons them. A dishonest witness will be punished, and whoever pours out lies will not go free. Many try to win the favor of rulers, and everyone is the friend of the person who gives gifts. The poor people are avoided by their whole family. Their friends avoided them even more. The poor person runs after his friends to beg for help, but they can't be found. Anyone who gets wisdom loves life. Anyone who values understanding will soon succeed. The dishonest witness will be punished, and those who pour out lies will die. It isn't proper for a foolish person to live in great comfort, and it is much worse when a slave rules over princes. The person's wisdom makes them patient. They will be honored if they forgive someone who sins against them. The king's anger is like a lion's roar, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish child is a father's own, and a nagging wife is like dripping that never stops. They will receive houses and wealth from their parents, but a wise wife is given by the Lord. Anyone who doesn't want to work sleeps his life away, and a person who refuses to work goes hungry. Those who keep their commandments keep their life, yet those who don't care how they live will die. Anyone who is kind to poor people learns to love will reward them for what they've done. Train your children, because then they say, don't do anything to bring about their death. A person with a bad temper must pay for it. If you save them, you'll have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept correction. In the end, you'll be counted among those who are wise. A person may have many plans in their heart, and if the Lord's purpose wins out in the end, everyone longs for love that never fails. It's better to be poor than to be alive. Having respect for the Lord leads to life. Then you'll be content and free from trouble. A person who doesn't want to work leaves his hand in the dish. He won't even bring it back up to his mouth. If you whip a person who makes fun of others, childish people will learn to be wise. If you want those who already understand what you say, they will gain even more knowledge. Anyone who rips their father and dries out their mother is a child who brings shame and dishonor. My son, if you stop listening to what I teach you, you will wander away from the words of knowledge. A dishonest witness makes fun of what is right. The master of those who do wrong gulp down evil. Those who make fun of others will be judged. Foolish people will be punished. Psalm 80. Shepherd of Israel, hear us. You lead the people of Joseph like a flock. You sit on your throne between the cherubim. So show your glory to the people of Ephraim, Benjamin, and Manasseh. Call your strength into action. Come and save us. God, make us new again. May you be pleased with us. Then we will be saved. Lord God, you rule over all. How long will you be angry? And will you be angry with your people even when they pray to you? You have given us tears as our food. You have made us drink tears by the bowl. You have let our neighbors mock us. Our enemies laugh at us. God, who rules over all, make us new again. May you be pleased with us. Then we will be saved. You brought Israel out of Egypt. Israel was like a vine. After you drove the nations out of Canaan, you planted the vine in their land. You prepared the ground for it. It took root and spread out over the whole land. The mountains were covered with its shade. The shade of its branches covered the mighty cedar trees. Your vine sent its branches out all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. They reached as far as the Euphrates. Why have you broken down the walls around your vine? Now all who pass by it can pick its grapes. Wild pigs from the forest destroy, insects from the fields feed on. God who rules over, return to us. Look down from heaven and see us. Watch over your vine. Guard the root you have planted with your powerful right hand. Take care of the branch you have raised up for yourself. Your vine has been cut down and burned in the fire. You've been angry with us, and we have died. May you honor the people at your right hand. May you honor the nation you have raised up for yourself. Then we will turn away from you. Give us new life. We will worship you. Lord God who rules over all, make us new again. May you be pleased with us. Then we will be saved. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, will your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as you receive forgiven our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.